Hello everyone, welcome. I hope you're all doing very well today. It's been a long day for me, but we got a beautiful, gorgeous burnt orange MR-2 to keep us wide awake with for at least a little while. So let's jump right into our first race. Ooh, right after that there's an off-road race. Yeah, no. Ooh, we got the midship meeting. Oh, that might be a bit tricky. Let's see, the rear-wheel drive limited race. That's much more doable. Ironically, despite the fact that it had a much higher odds against us because the spread of the field was much closer together. You didn't went out up against like crazy supercars and everything. Granted, we do have the Viper to worry about, but the Viper is about as squirrely as our MR-2, so we don't have to worry too much. Plus, also the undulation will be very good practice for keeping our vehicle very nice and stable. Hey. Ooh, I may have adjusted it just a little bit too much towards understeering. Never mind. Alright, it does like to turn on under braking though. Turning on under braking is still very good for this. This or GT4. Ooh, that's a tough one. I find in terms of overall like objective quality, I think GT4 does it better. But in terms of moment-to-moment excitement and not only replayability, but just the general fun factor, I prefer this one. Just because with this one, granted, both games, in very different ways, do a very good job of ensuring that no matter what car you are driving, there is always going to be an event that you can race it in and it'll be fairly competitive. This one by doing randomized events that have vehicles that are similar-ish in performance. And then in Gran Turismo 4, it's due to the sheer number of events that they have, where they pretty much kind of covered all of their bases. So both games really do that well. I do enjoy this game encouraging you in a much better way than just getting random A-spec points, which don't really do anything in Gran Turismo 4. But in this game, you know, it does encourage you to go up against faster opponents in a much slower vehicle and to win against them. So it encourages more sort of exciting driving, really kind of allows you to really push your vehicle to the limits. But GT4 had a much bigger variety especially in tracks. This game, there's only like 3 or 4 different like actual sort of permanent racing circuits. Whereas in Gran Turismo 4, there is so many real and fictional racing circuits, a good amount of street courses as well. So it's very close. I think GT4 is an overall better game, but this one is more fun though, is the short answer. It is good to see you though, Darth. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a great day. Right now we are trying to kind of wrangle around our very squirrely MR-2. I did adjust the suspension. Hey Sprockets, hope you're doing well. I did adjust the suspension of the MR-2, the SW20 MR-2, just a bit to kind of get rid of that snap oversteer. I adjusted the camber and the toe. Hey, day's been good to hear that. Good to hear that. It's been a little bit hectic for me, but that's behind us now. We get to enjoy racing these fast vehicles. Ooh, got a little bit loose there. Whee! Oh, it's still a very lively vehicle. I gotta be very gentle on the throttle. Done a bit of research on the MR-2 in the week leading up to the stream as well. And more so the big difference that I was reading up on was the difference between the US and the Japanese versions. The Japanese high-performance version of the MR-2 actually has about 18 more horsepower than the US version, despite both of them having the 2-liter Toyota S-Series engine in the 2-liter turbocharged Toyota S-Series engine in it. The Japanese one just has a bit more horsepower. The turbocharged versions, the way to distinguish them, granted, it's very, very obvious versus their natural aspirated counterpart. Both of them are labeled as turbocharging. What is a racing game that you think doesn't deserve the praise it gets? I think that's a tough one. That is a bit of a tough one. Let me think, because I like a lot of racing games, and even games that aren't necessarily great, things that are a bit more shovelware. I still find enjoyment in. Games that get a lot of praise. Burnout Paradise is an interesting one. I think with that one, if they hadn't gotten rid of crash mode and they allowed sort of a more live, updated world where, you know, they're racing. Yeah, Burnout. Oh gosh, very slidey on that corner. Yeah, Burnout Paradise is definitely a bit overrated, but I still really very much enjoy it. I think the racing that's a bit overrated. That is a tough one. I might say Gran Turismo, like the PS3 era of Gran Turismos. And I know that may be very, very, very controversial. But the PS3 era of Gran Turismos, I still enjoyed them. Both 5 and 6 really had some things that I think really hurt the replayability, especially now that their servers are offline. The first one for both of them is the economy of those games. They built the economy almost around players competing and completing the online events, the seasonal events and stuff. And then when they shut down the servers and everything, you can't go back and play. It becomes a very, very big grind to go back and play those two games without some sort of hacked copy or what have you, or some pseudo modding going on. And then also there's the fact that Paradise moves. Yeah. I don't like the lack of events in Burnout Paradise, and also the fact that most events are only going to like 8 different locations. It does make the game feel kind of samey after a couple hours. And also when they alright, that's dreadful. And then also the fact that they got rid of the they got rid of things like signature takedowns and all that stuff as well. It does make things a bit rough. I think up there as well, the PS3 era of Gran Turismo games. And a little bit Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2010. It is still a very good game. Do not get me wrong. I definitely rate it like an 8 out of 10. It is a very solid game that I enjoy immensely. But people do kind of rate that one much higher than it really should be. Mainly because everyone was like, oh, but like you can like drift around like this one ring area, and like they show that as like an excuse that like the brake to drift handling is good and enjoyable, but like it's because your car is literally being controlled by the game as opposed to you being controlled by you. Anyone can just tap the brake and then slide around that ring. It is nothing. There is very, very little to it, and okay, to be fair, I really dislike brake to drift physics in general. That is like my big sort of like racing game pet peeve, and I hate the fact that a lot of arcade racers and stuff have like begun adopting it So no matter what game you're trying to play in, it's always the same. Even like Hot Wheels Unleashed, that they did that, and it's just I don't like that. Granted, the game itself is still very, very good, because everything else really holds up to it. The balance between the cops and the racers and everything, the vehicle models, the quality of the sounds and everything were all very, very good. And it's one of the few games that Break the Drift isn't horrific in. It's still a nuisance, but it's not horrific. But yeah, I definitely rank that one as overrated. But for the most part, I don't think too many games are overrated. I think a lot of racing games, especially when they're reviewed by like video game critics, I think a lot of critics, because a lot of them, they aren't really in the niche. So oftentimes they rate more so on, oh, this game looks nice, or these cars sound nice, versus, gameplay and that type of stuff. It's more, hey, is this exciting enough and do cars sound nice? Then does the game provide good racing and good gameplay? Which is unfortunate, because it would be like me trying to, gauge, first-person shooters. I am dreadful at first-person shooters, I will fully admit that. I have really very little qualifications to be able to do that. I thought Most Wanted 2012 was a better version of Burnout Paradise. Speaking of which, what is the opposite? Racing games that do not get enough praise. Racing games that don't get enough praise. So this one is a lot easier. We're playing one of them right now. Enthusia definitely does not get enough praise. Just, the game itself is very, very good. And I think with a few tweaks, it could really have been like a major, major competitor to the Gran Turismo franchise. And it just fell just short, more so due to the fact that, one, the game came out shortly after Gran Turismo 4, and with the sheer amount of content available in Gran Turismo 4, it did make Enthusia seem a bit light by comparison. And on top of that, graphically as well, it is a bit rougher than GT4. But the vehicle handling, I think, is a bit better than GT4. And I think vehicle sounds are definitely much, much better in Enthusia than in GT4 as well. Vehicle is very squirrely though. Outside of that, other racing games that I think do not get enough praise. A lot more sort of like the mid-grade PS2 era racing games. A lot of those really deserve a lot more praise. For example, the Tokyo Extreme Racer games. Those ones, I think, really are very, very, very nice and very high quality, with not only vehicle variety but vehicle customization, and race to race excitement. Those are very fun games to go and play. And they did a really, really cool job with the mainline series, where they really innovated, where instead of racing to a finish line or what have you, instead is almost like a fighting game, where you're racing against an opponent and both you have hit points, or in the game calls it spirit points, but still you have hit points, and the race can go on for 30 seconds if you get a major lead, or if you fall way behind, or it can go on for multiple minutes. And either way, the racing is very, very intense, because you want to make sure that you keep ahead and far ahead of the opponent, so that they can still keep getting losing their spirit points. I think definitely the Tokyo Extreme Racer games need more praise, need more love. And I think I've been watching. There have been some YouTubers, some other racing YouTubers out there that are like, "Oh wow, I can't believe I missed this game and everything. Wow, this is so cool." And it's, those games are really, really, really fun as well. Other racing games I think are underrated. Definitely Enthusia and the Tokyo Extreme Racer series. Both of those are definitely up there. What else? I'd say pre-Underground Need for Speed games. Not that they aren't praised, but because they're overlooked by many people. I hate it when people start reviewing Need for Speed games and starting with Underground. Yeah, granted, Underground was a big, very big genre shift that a lot of people kind of, you know, kind of started out with Need for Speed games. I mean, those were some of the most, you know, the most sold games. So those are the ones that people get recommended to play the most. But there are a lot of really good, you know, games made before Underground as well, especially on, well, not necessarily Hot Pursuit 2. Hot Pursuit 2 is still better on console, but I've been watching sort of gameplay of a lot of the PC versions of the pre Underground era, and those are some really nice games as well, especially now with mods and everything. That'd be really cool. I have to find a way to get those working, because I do have a couple of the PS1 era Need for Speed games, but some of them, for example, like Porsche Unleashed, is very different on PC versus on PS1. So it'd be kind of cool to do a playthrough of both. I think also, unfortunately, with older consoles, there is a level of jank to like PS1 and older consoles, where it does make things just a bit difficult for people that haven't gotten used to playing them, going back to them. It does make things more difficult because there's a level of a lack of polish that makes things just a bit tricky. Whereas like the PS2 is right where it's kind of, it blends the line between retro and modern. So with that, it does it does make things a bit more easier for people that haven't, you know, gotten used to playing the PS2. They can still kind of jump into it and be reasonably able to, wow, that's the second time in a row we haven't gotten any cars, reasonably able to play the games. Yeah, play both versions of high stakes. Okay, so the high stakes for both PC and PS1 are very different as well. Okay, I have to keep that in mind as well. We need to get back up into the 50s or lower in the rankings. Our ranking is very poor right now. We need to do much better. Schwacht. Ooh, Nordschleife. Nordschleife. Yes. Yeah, no, there's definitely quite a very large amount of racing games that are a bit underrated. Partially because, again, racing games are a big niche. And it is. Did you ever take a look at the Hot Pursuit 2 prototype I told you about? I did a little bit. I didn't get a whole lot of time to look deep into it, but I did watch some videos of gameplay and everything. It looks very difficult. It basically looks like, so there's two events in Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2, the bonus events. Race 31 for both the Ultimate Racer and the World Championship career tree, where the AI gets turned up to 11, and it's like really difficult. It almost looks like the entire game is using that AI. Where the police are just rubber banding like right up with you, like almost immediately, and the AI is like constantly just, you know, trying to be like 2 seconds in front of you all the time, and it does make things just a bit tricky. I'll have to find a way. I need to do a bit more research in like how to install it and everything and get it working. But that does seem really. That would be a cool sort of self-imposed challenge to do on stream. I've got so many different games right now in the Wheel of Random and on deck as well to be placed in the Wheel of Random. That it is gonna. I have to find a way to shuffle that in there and everything. I also have to find a way to get that working. But that would be really cool. So I haven't, outside of the Unite mods for the Ghost Games Need for Speed era, I haven't really played around with a whole lot of mods and ROM hacks and stuff. So that is something I kind of want to explore as well. I kind of, test the waters, get involved in that. That'd be a lot of fun, I think. We're doing very, very well in the Nordschleife. The MR-2 is, for the most part, being very, very polite with us. The difficulty is the only thing you find really different. After installing, it should be the same method for the normal game for the piston. Okay. Okay, so it's just got to get the ISO file. Okay. Yeah, I should get that. I should find that. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll work to get that. Do not break roll in the grass. Do not break roll in the grass. Like, it's very squirrely. And that may get shuffled in after a couple of other Need for Speed games, because we're already playing through the base Hot Pursuit 2. That'll be shuffled in with the thing on the wheel of random. At 2 prototypes, one for Xbox, one for PS2. Okay, good. I'll make sure to get the PS2 version of that, and that'll be fun. That'll be fun. Trying that out. I hope. That may cause me to rage though, just a little bit, because I was definitely getting a little bit close to losing my temper a bit on those final or semi-final races in base Hot Pursuit 2, where the police and the AI were being just a little bit cheatsy. So that may be a self-imposed challenge type of stream, where we have a restart counter and potentially a swear counter as well if I can't hold my tongue. Okay, good. We're still managing to keep the lead right now. This MR-2, very, very nice car. Oh yeah, the difference between the American and Japanese versions for distinguishing if it's turbo. I was talking about that as well. With the Japanese version, it has a decal on the side, just above the side air vents that signify, it says something along the lines of like twin cam turbo or something like that. Whereas the American version, it has badging on the rear hood, because the engine is in the back, or at least mounted midship. For that one, it has an actual badge, a turbo badge on there, which is the other interesting little distinguishing, because like for both of them, it is very similar, very, very similar engines. It is, the 3S something Toyota turbocharged inline 4 2-liter engines, with the Japanese one only making 18 more horsepower. And both for all of the SW20s, they did receive quite a bit of technical input from Dan Gurney. And Dan Gurney, if you're not familiar with Dan Gurney is he's unfortunately passed back in 2018. But Dan Gurney was a very, very, very famous racing driver. He raced sports cars, he raced Formula 1, he raced in NASCAR. But he was also an engineer and a team principal at one time as well, because he was one of the founders of All American Racers, alongside the likes of Carroll Shelby. And All American Racers, AAR, not to be confused with All American Rejects, was a racing team that primarily competed in not only Formula 1, but also IndyCar and Trans Am racing as well. That's why the Plymouth Barracuda is a special edition, the AAR version, to commemorate All American Racing's performance in the Trans Am, which was sort of American's premier touring car series at the time, racing series, which is really, really cool. Dan Gurney was also one of the people that created, he was the creator of what's known as the Gurney flap, And the gurney flap basically is a small little lip on that mounts onto the back of a spoiler, like a wing or a spoiler. And what it does is it helps greatly increase downforce, more so because basically it kind of helps force the air upwards. And Newton's third law: if air goes up, that pushes whatever's forcing it up back down. But because of the way the gurney flap worked as well, being very, very short, and also kind of allowing the high pressure and the low pressure airflows going past the spoiler to kind of merge together much more cleanly, it also, depending on how much angle of attack you had on the wing, helped reduce drag. So not only were you getting more downforce, more cornering speed, but you were also able to then go faster in the straights, which is really, really cool. And he took it basically just kind of mounting, a 90, kind of a L-shaped piece of sheet metal onto the back of, Bobby? It was one of the Unzers. I think it was Bobby Unzer. But I think it was Bobby Unzer's car that was testing, was it USAC at the time? Was it car? I think it was USAC. But basically, his open wheel race car. And he added that there, and it took the rest of the teams, nearly a year, some teams even more so, to kind of create their own version of the gurney flap in order to compete. But yeah, Dan Gurney, he was racing driver, engineer, team owner. He did it all, which is really, really cool. I have a lot of respect for him as well. Oh, also, there was one other thing he kind of created that is very, very important for racing. He was the one that kind of created it's one of the first drivers to create the tradition of spraying of the champagne, as opposed to just drinking the champagne. He was the one that created the tradition of spraying the champagne on the other drivers on the podium and onto the crowd as well down below. He was the one that started that. Which is, a funny little thing that he also created that's stuck with motorsport for such a long, long, long time. Favorite racing game ever made? This one I have answered before, but I do like talking about both of them. Favorite 2 racing games for me. And that's different than what I think is objectively the best racing game, but the most fun for me to revisit and play, for me, is Need for Speed Carbon and Gran Turismo 3. Both of them are immensely fun to revisit. I always have a lot of fun going through playing those games, and I have so many 100% playthroughs of both of them. It is a bit silly. Midnight Club 3 is also a really, really good one. Although with that one, and it is definitely up there. With that one though, the AI is a bit cheatsy. When you only have a C-class vehicle unlocked, and the opponents are already racing, Lamborghinis and stuff like that against you, it does kind of sour the mood just a little bit. I think if they tone down the AI just a little bit, I think it would be more fun. Or at the very least, make the AI fast, but at least make them within your class that you're racing. Like Midnight Club LA did a good job of ensuring that no matter what kind of car you drove, there was still races you'd be competitive in. With Gran Turismo 3, I enjoyed that one just because it's a very, very laid back Gran Turismo experience where if you have a car that meets the regulations, you can tune it within an inch of its life. And provided it's not one of those very, very few race events like the naturally aspirated or turbocharged only races, or one of the 3 events that require a stock vehicle, you can enter it. And some of the other opponents also race tuned vehicles as well, so it's really, really fun going seeing just how fast you can make random vehicles. And it also allows for it also allows you to kind of really experiment with different vehicles each time you go through because of the because there is no used car dealership. You can really there is no rush of well, if I don't get this vehicle, I gotta wait, 375 in-game days before it's available again. So you can you don't necessarily need to really plan out your purchases as much. You can be like, well, I got enough money for this. Let's see what this will do. And you can, grind as fast or as slow as you want, take as much or as little time as you want going through it. And it's just a very, very relaxed racing experience. And then with Need for Speed Carbon, I think with that one, it's just, I think that's the game that they really kind of got the rubber banding AI down a lot better, where you still kind of notice it a little bit, but it's much more fair. Combine that with a very, very nice world map that's very enjoyable to race on, even if it's not nearly as realistic as other maps. It still produces good racing, and makes, feels very, very nice to drive on them. And the cars themselves, feel distinct enough while still all being, very fun to drive as well. I definitely think Carbon, when the main complaint of Carbon is just that the game itself is too short, that's how you know you've created a very, very fun game. Because it is, sure, the game itself is very, very short, and that is an issue with the game. But race to race is always going to be so much fun. Like, I don't think there's ever any time where the racing becomes bland. Because you always, it's never blatantly unfair to the point it's unfun. But it's also not just a slog and very, very slow vehicles. Found Carbon too easy, except for Darius. Carbon is a little bit on the easier side as well. Especially if you're using some of the faster vehicles and stuff in their tiers. Which I do think with that one, I think a difficulty slider or, a difficulty level at the start, where if you make it harder and you get more money or something like that, I think that could help a bit. Because I do agree at certain points it is a bit easy. But even then, I think the handling and the map more than make up for that. Where it's really enjoyable to kind of go through, really kind of, get those turns just right, especially once you've gotten your vehicle tuned up. Oh, it feels very, very nice to drive. So my favorite overall, well, not say favorite overall, the Need for Speed game that I think is objectively the best, or at the very least, it has the best in terms of just overall, I think is Underground 2. While it's not quite as fun to play as Carbon, because I think it has the opposite issue of going on for just a little bit too long. Especially in that final stage, where you just unlock Coal-Harbor West. The tuning is very, very fun, even if some of the mods haven't aged quite so well. The sheer variety of race types in Underground 2 is also very nice. It's all very, very fun. But I think overall, Carbon is the most fun for a Need for Speed game. So I think Most Wanted, while it has higher highs, it also has lower lows in that, especially early game in Most Wanted is a bit of a slog. Same with late game Underground 2, whereas Carbon is very consistent, very smooth all the way through, which makes it enjoyable, which makes it very, very enjoyable. Even if it doesn't quite reach the peaks of its predecessors, it's a very consistent, very enjoyable experience, which is what makes it my favorite. But overall, just the entire black box era of the Need for Speed games are just really, really, really good. Even regardless of whether you like, the tuners or the exotics or anything, it's just that the vehicle handling is just so, it makes the games just very enjoyable to play. And the vehicle handling has aged very well as also. to the point where, honestly, with a few adjustments, they could probably bring back, sort of reuse that handling model in, let's say, you know, the newer Need for Speed games, and it would still be considered, you know, very, very good. I also want to say, as I've been thinking about it more, granted, it's been a long time since I've played it, I do have a very big soft spot for Mini Club LA. That one is definitely up there as well. Just because of the sheer world size and the detail in the world, and the detail in the cars as well. It is very, very immersive. And it's just very, very, very nice. I definitely like Mini Club LA. Ooh, a little bit slidey here. A little bit of tap. That corner right there, going under the archway, that is just a little bit tricky. Just because it gets very, very narrow. Just out of curiosity, Darth. Since we're on the topic of it, for the Need for Speed games, which one of yours is your favorite? So now I know you said you do like a lot of like the pre Black Box era games as well, and I've played a few of those, and those are really good. But I want to see which one you consider your absolute favorite to go back and play. Ooh, you're just to the outside of me. That is very, very tricky. I love Hot Pursuit 2, but only the PS2 version. Yeah, Hot Pursuit 2. I definitely like that one a lot. I think the only big criticism I would give to that one is some of the events are a little bit of a slug. More so just some of the knockout tournament events, especially the one where it is just knockout after knockout after knockout in the same track in the desert. That one is a bit of a bore to get through, but the rest of the game, it's still very, very high intensity, very fun. The vehicles handle quite nicely, but still handle very differently to each other. We really locked up the brakes there. That's going to cost us a position, at least for a little bit. Yeah, Hot Pursuit 2 is also very, very fun. And the vehicles in that game are absolutely gorgeous. You know, the Ferrari F50, the Ferrari F50 is very nice looking. And the 550 Barchetta is also very, very gorgeous. It's probably one of the best looking Ferraris, in my opinion. Just because it's got those classic sports car proportions, but in a modern shell with the long nose, short rear deck lid, and with it being, you know, an open top, you know, high performance street machine as well. It's very, very nice. All right, can't quite get the inside. Yeah, Hot Pursuit 2 is really good as well. Oh, easy, easy. We gotta get right up with that Toyota. Toyota versus Toyota. The stable but heavyweight. That's the Aristo, right? Yeah, I think so. Versus the very lightweight, very agile but very twitchy MR-2. Through the S-curves. Now let's see if we can't carry more speed through this left-hander. Not quite. Let's get into the slipstream. Come on. Alright, down on the inside. There we go. Can we make the pass stick? Yes, we can, if just barely. Good, we got the lead. 2 laps to go. We're slowly kind of figuring out this circuit. I'm really glad I did those suspension adjustments because, oh my gosh, this car is actually handling very nice. It's very neutral. It's got a little bit of turn and under braking. But it's otherwise, you know, it's not being very squirrely. It's being just agile enough to keep you on your toes. And you can kind of swing it through some of the S-curves like that as well. Which, if we didn't do some of the... Oh. Does have a little bit of understeer at points. We gotta watch ourselves with that. But otherwise, it does handle very nicely. Alright, let's get it spun around. Gotta get back up. Gotta get back up with that Toyota. We've only got a couple of corners, half a lap to go. Alright, back up with it. Let's gain some ground to the very narrow archway section. Underground 1 is also a lot of fun. That one I also have quite a bit of replays on. Just because with that one, even though the progression is the exact same pretty much every time you go through it, it is still very, very good progression. And I think the game lasts just the right amount of time to be fun without being like grating. Oh, not quite. We lost the drag race to the finish line there. Oof. That's a close second place, so I'll take it. The Underground 1 is also really good. It was, you know, one of the ones that was a real game changer, really kind of, oh my gosh. 3 in a row. We are not getting any cars this stream. Wow. Okay. Wow. I was not expecting that. Alright, next race. Next one is a duel race, so hopefully it's a tarmac duel. We might be able to do decently there. Marco Strada in the wet. Ooh, we are against the S600. Ooh, I'm doing it. I'm going for it. It's gonna be tricky. It's gonna be very, very tricky driving the MR-2 in the wet. Pray for my tires, pray for my soul. Oh boy. We are lighter than the S600 though. But the S600 has much more grip. It's a bit more stable due to the weight of the vehicle. But Marco Strada is one of my better tracks. Especially if we can get a good run going through the chicane. The chicane of hopes and prayers. Basically gotta take it near straight out. Get a little bit squirrely on exit there. Alright, onto the brakes. Trail brake just a little bit going to this corner. The car nice and turning. Gotta watch wheel spin on exits. Alright, first lap we're in the lead. Good, let's keep that lead. Alright, brake just at the wood. Car nice and turned in. Use a little bit of throttle to keep it steady. Okay, watch yourselves going into the wet, out of the tunnel. Goes from dry to wet. Mid-turn. Makes things really tricky. Nice and smooth. Slowly get back on the throttle. There we go. Yes. That's given us a big advantage. Nice, that's smooth through there, very good. A little bit of off-course excursion. Oh, but we are gaining mega time on that S600. I am so glad. I am so glad we did those suspension adjustments on the MR2 there, because otherwise we would be facing backwards quite a bit. I know how tricky the MR2 is to drive. I knew someone who tried to drive one of these in the wet. Needless to say, after that, they did not have an MR2 anymore. Very wealthy family. Got him that as a present for getting into college, and it lasted him about a year. Granted, it was a used MR2 and it was in sketchy shape, but still. Nice and easy, nice and easy. Smooth through. Thankfully, it's also very wide, very open corners. So if you do get into a slide, you can just kind of slowly get on the throttle, kind of throttle out of the slide just a little bit. And it's not a very tight corner. Only tight corner is really the chicane here, the bus stop chicane. Not even a bus stop chicane, just a right-left chicane there. Just gotta keep it nice and smooth. Alright, we're keeping a decent lead right now. We're kind of keeping a steady pace. S600 is speeding up just a little bit. Or we're slowing down just a little bit. We're slowing down just a little bit. But overall, we're not losing too much time. We have enough of a gap that we can kind of just take it nice and easy. Focus on just keeping our car off of the barriers, off of the walls, on the track. Yeah, we got about a 2-second lead. We're good. Very good. I gotta watch ourselves through the chicane. Very nice. Okay. Yeah, that S600 is going just a little bit faster each time through the chicane. This is going to make things just a little bit tricky. Granted, they're still about 3 seconds behind, so it isn't a whole lot to worry about. But I'm just watching. I'm watching that distance in the top left corner of my screen. Just seeing just how. Oh, jeez. Okay, a little bit too aggressive on the throttle there. Probably got a little bit loose. We're trying to push our car just a little bit too hard. And I think we need to ease off on that. There we go, much better through chicane as well. That's going to give us lots of time. There we go, out of the corner, out of the tight right-hander. And let's see how much time they've gained on us. They've only gained about 0.3 of a second. That's not bad. That is more than acceptable. Especially because we only have 3 laps to go. I do see them ever so slightly in our rear view mirrors. See a black silhouette against the fairly brightly lit city. I do see them back there. So we do need to kind of make sure we do not make any major errors through the chicane. The S600 is still very quick. Very quick through there. Alright, 2 to go. Alright, let me get on the brakes right around here. Get the car nice and turned in. You want to keep it in 3rd gear as opposed to 2nd gear, because in 2nd gear, the car really wants to kind of spin the rears going around these corners. 3rd gear, although we're not quite getting as good of a launch out of the corners, it is preventing us from really kind of spinning through the corners, which is nice. Little tap on the brakes. The car nice and turned in. Through the chicane. That was very close to the walls there. Come on to our final lap. Oh, he is closer though. 1.5 seconds. Okay. Let's be smart about this. Be very, very smart. Had a question ahead a moment ago, but now I lost it. That's all right. If you remember it, don't be shy. You're more than welcome to ask it. Oh, this car is very squirrely though. But yeah, this is the MR-2 is known for being very, very tricky, very deadly car to drive in the wet. Oh, good, the Mercedes made a mistake. Deep slide through the final corner. Here we go, cross the line. Yes. Very nice. Very, very nice. That's going to give us lots of points. That's going to allow us also a chance, not a chance, a guarantee to win a racing vehicle. Peugeot 206 rally car. Very, very nice with the very large, oversized front and rear bumpers compared to the standard 206. Actually looks very, very nice. A lot of those late 90s, early 2000 rally cars look very cool. Ooh, that is one Need for Speed I haven't played that I do really, really want to play though. Granted, it's a spin-off, but I really want to play the V-Rally series, like the Need for Speed V-Rallies. I've never got a chance to play those, but I do want to play those. I have obtained a disc for I forget which V-Rally it was. Let me check real quick. Okay, I have both V-Rallies. I've got both V-Rallies available for me. But yes, I do wanna play those. Be fun. I've heard good things about those as well. The first V-Rally isn't great, but V-Rally 2 is pretty good. Okay, granted, I'm probably still gonna play both of them. Granted, on this channel we did play the first Ford racing game. Probably will eventually play the 2 and 3 as well. But the first Ford racing game is also kind of lambasted as being not great. So, and in that regards, I will agree with critics. The first Ford racing game is a bit meh. At times, it does show specks of greatness and enjoyability. But it's not as good as 2 or 3. Definitely not as good as 2 or 3. Alright, we gotta watch ourselves. We are gonna be on the outside going into this turn, and it really kind of gets... Oh, you're dive bombing. You're dive bombing. Everyone is dive bombing. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I kind of figured that was going to end poorly. Let's get back up into the lead. What to really is just try to get closer to the lead. That roof is very quick. Very high performance rear-wheel drive machine. Nice and easy. Let's get past this Damaso Pantera. The Damaso, it's an Italian supercar with an American heart, powered by a Ford 351 cubic inch V8 engine created during the early 70s. Unfortunately, Need for Speed the Run was unremarkable for me. Ooh. Alright, in that regards, I'm going to have to disagree with you on that one. I very much of the 2010 Need for Speed games, the run I quite like. Granted, again, you're more than welcome to your opinion and everything like that. Everyone has different tastes, but I love, at the very least, I really enjoy Need for Speed the Run. Did it have its issues? Yes. The forced QuickTime events were a bit jarring. Obviously, there wasn't any characters that really kind of stood out, but the actual racing, the vehicle handling was so much fun. And some of the set pieces were, for an action racer, was actually really enjoyable. Like the avalanche section, that one was so much fun. Though I do wish the game had a lot more replayability going through it, because otherwise it was a little bit like once you beat it, yeah, all the scripted events. Yeah, it was a little bit on rails for a Need for Speed game, where you really didn't have a whole lot of choice going through it. And in that regards, I will admit its faults. But the actual racing, the vehicle handling, I think was very good. A bit heavy, but still very good. And also it worked well for pretty much the wide variety of terrains that you were going through. Because it felt like you were in control of your car, but just barely. Whereas a lot of like the break the drift Need for Speed games, it feels like the game is more in control of the car than you are. Granted, I think it's probably not as good, not as enjoyable to replay now that the online section of it is offline, because I did play the online events quite a lot, because it was just the handling and racing against other opponents, where it was, purely, skill and not just, RNG of, oh, is the game going to decide you're going to understeer right now? Who knows? I was really, the multiplayer was really enjoyable. But I think because most of the fun was in the multiplayer, I don't think it has aged quite as well. You have to, the fact that to turn off the internet on the PS3 to play the game really sucks. Yeah, that is true. That is... It does make it a pain to revisit, and unfortunately, without it, it's one of those things where a lot of newer games, I feel, aren't really made to be replayed. After the services have, after the live service has been shut down, which is unfortunate. Because there is a lot of fond memories for those games, but if developers don't do a patch to kind of make the game operable and most of the content available for later playthroughs, it kind of makes revisiting them not as fun. As one of my biggest complaints about Gran Turismo 5 and 6 is, while those games were immensely fun for the time, and I played the ever-loving hell out of them, it's very difficult to revisit those two versus 3 and 4, or even 2, because the in-game economy, the leveling system, everything was built upon you doing the online events, and when you can't do those online events, then a lot of content isn't available for you. For example, to easily get the Formula 1 car, you had to go to the Formula Gran Turismo in 5, you had to go to the online seasonal dealership, because it was always there. But since that shut down, I don't believe you can access that anymore. So you just have to really kind of hope and pray and get lucky with the RNG and have it appear in the used car dealership. Minus the C8, are Corvettes muscle cars? That's a tricky one. I would consider the C2 and the C3 muscle cars. But I would consider everything else more so aligned with sports cars. And the big reason I consider the C2 and the C3 muscle cars is those ones, they did become, much larger, closer to a full-size vehicle, a bit heavier, with, big, high displacement, 400-some cubic inch engines. Very large, very large displacement vehicles. So in that regards, I do consider them, those two generations, muscle cars. The other generations, I consider them much more aligned with either sports cars, or maybe with a few of them, kind of almost like a hybrid between a sports car and a muscle car. But I do not quite consider them a muscle car. Same with the Viper. The Viper I consider close to a muscle car, muscle adjacent, but still fully within the realm of sports car or supercar territory. But those are definitely, those two vehicles, along with the Shelby Cobra, are vehicles that kind of blend the line between what could be considered a muscle car and what could be considered, a sports car. With their penchant for, straight line speed and acceleration over everything else. And their very high displacement, high torque V8 engines. They do have many traits of a muscle car, but they're not quite muscle cars. Alright, we're maxing out at 156. Alright, nice and easy onto the brakes. Granted, I absolutely love my Corvettes. The Corvettes are gorgeous. Ooh, favorite generation of Corvettes. Ooh. That's a tough one. Favorite Corvettes. I have a bit of a soft spot for the C6 generation of Corvettes. Just because for those in the C5s, I remember watching the bright yellow Corvettes race around in the American Le Mans and eventually the IMSA series and stuff. And it was so cool. But if I had to pick just one Corvette to own, I would love to get a C2 convertible in a tuxedo black with white line tires, with the red leather interior, and it's got to be a convertible though. I would love to have one of those. That is definitely a car that belongs in the dream garage. The C3 is also very good, especially the earlier C3s. The later C3s are a bit hit and miss. So some of them still look very nice, despite the lower compression engines and the emissions and stuff like that really hurting horsepower. The 78 25th anniversary Corvette looks very nice. As does the early 80s C3 Corvettes as well, when they kind of got rid of the black plastic bumpers and kind of added sort of a more body colored. Best to worst. C3, C5, C8, C2, C6, C1, C4. Ooh, For me, it's probably C2, C6, C5. I haven't really made up my opinion on 8 yet, so I'm gonna leave that out of there, because 8 I haven't seen enough in real life to really judge. And for me, it's C2, C6, C5, C1 and C3 are pretty close together. I'm gonna go C3, then C1, then C4. Granted, the C4 generation, well, it does have some pretty low lows. Some of the special models of the C4, like the ZR1, as well as, you know, the Grand Sport and the Callaway Sledgehammer C4, all are chef's kiss. Very, very nice vehicles. So while overall the C4 I think is one of the least desirable to me generations, it does have some very... Oh, C7. C7 for me is probably just before probably just before C3. It looks a bit too long in the front for me. Like it looks just a little bit exaggerated. And it's kind of just a little bit too like edgy shaped, whereas the other Corvettes leading up to it were much more rounded, much more kind of smooth, a little bit more. You can't really consider a Corvette subtle, but you know, a little bit less in your face, which I do like the restraint that they kind of show. Granted, the C6 ZR1 with the clear. Oh, it's like the sharpness of the C7. It is something that has grown on me. When it first came out, I didn't quite like it as much. Performance-wise, it was very, very nice. And watching the videos and everything, it was very exciting seeing it, you know, even the street versions go around the racetrack. Very, very nice. Very well planted, very good handling vehicle, very well designed vehicle. But the design, while it did grow on me, it's still not something I 100% like. Versus, I do like the more rounded, smoother, subtle nature of the C5 and C6 quite a bit. I think those, granted with the exception of the pop-up headlights of the C5, I think both of those have aged very, very nicely. The interiors of the C5 and C6 though, a bit less so, but you drive a sports car like that for performance and enjoyability, not necessarily for it to have a comfy interior. One thing I wish though for the Corvette chassis is what I would love to see done now that the Corvette is a mid-engine, you know, proper supercar. I would love to see the C7 chassis developed and then turned into sort of a Cadillac Grand Tourer to almost compete with the likes of, you know, Aston Martin and Jaguar and those, you know, two-door sports coupes. But, you know, make it a bit more luxurious with the interior and everything. Make it, you know, a proper Cadillac. 'Cause that's the one thing with the sharpness of the C7. I think it more so fits Cadillac's design styling versus GM's style. Oh, sorry, versus Chevrolet's and the previous Corvette styling. The 99 Dodge Charger concept. It looks better than the Charger they ended up making a few years later. The 99 concept is very interesting. I do, if you look at the doors, especially on the 99 concept, the doors itself really kind of have a good resemblance of the older Chargers. Though for me, the four-door Charger, granted the later models of it, the 2010 models, like the later generation four-door Chargers as opposed to the earlier four-door Chargers. I think I do quite like the later four-door Chargers. The earlier ones not as much. Though the Magnum I do quite like the Magnum. But I do have a little bit of a soft spot for high performance station wagons. And I would love, honestly, I would love to see Dodge just bring a one-off. Granted, it's probably not going to happen with the Charger eventually going electric. But I would have loved to see sort of a one-off, or you know, a limited run option for the later Chargers off of the Charger chassis for a brand new Magnum with, you know, a Hellcat engine and everything. A Hellcat powered station wagon would be so cool. And it would have been very, I think that would have brought a lot of hype. Because the Magnum is a bit of an unloved vehicle of the Dodge, the Dodge 2000s years. That I think definitely is a bit more deserving of love than a lot of people give it credit for. But if we're talking about concept vehicles, though, one of the concept vehicles I really liked was the early 2000s GTO concept. Especially because if you look at the early 2000s GTO concept, you can kind of see a lot of the design cues that were used on the 5th generation Camaro, which is really, really cool that it didn't, you know, the design language of that vehicle didn't entirely go to waste, and it was still used for something very, very nice. Nice drink of water there. Let's see if we're able to get the Elise. Yes, we got the Elise. I love my Elises. Very beautiful car. Very lightweight, very agile. Got lots of points as well that should help our ranking. We're coming to grips with our MR-2 with the suspension suspension adjustments. It is not quite as much of a handful as we was expecting, which is good. Ooh, the Adriatic Midnight. Let's see what we have here. And I don't think we're going to be able to compete with the Bugatti here. That's probably not going to happen. Japanese car limited racer on Autumn Hill. Ooh, we got a good selection of vehicles. Let's do it. Autumn Hill as well. I love my fall racetracks with all the different colored leaves, especially with our very kind of nice burnt orange Toyota MR-2. Two, one, let's roll. Oh, and I love, as you upgrade the turbo cars, I love the blow-off sound valve. The blow-off valve sounds. Oh, it sounds so nice. Like I said, the vehicle sound in this game is actually fairly good. And especially as you upgrade them, the vehicle's sounding more and more aggressive, more and more tuned. Very nice. Oh, I love the blow-off valve sounds. The little Let's get around this corner. Let's keep it nice and stable. We're up into the lead. This track definitely favors very, very agile vehicles with decent acceleration and really good handling. And that's what we're driving right now. We're driving a very nice MR-2. Absolutely gorgeous. It's being very, very well behaved through the tunnel. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Get around these corners. Keep extending the lead. Beautiful, beautiful car. Absolutely lovely. Get onto the brakes again for the right-hander. It's double apex. Go wide, cut back tight again. Oh, a little bit understeer. First collision of the race. Let's try to avoid any more of those. I also love the very, very kind of fast, very quick lap circuits. It's really, really fun to kind of memorize and really kind of go for, you know, shaving, you know, tenths of a second off. Very quick, very rapid hot laps. Where you're not left wondering the entire, you know, the entire half of a lap. Oh, is this going to be the one, or am I going to make a mistake? It's, you know, just lap after lap after lap. You just kind of really kind of grind them down, really kind of practice. It's a lot more fun. It's a lot more fun to practice when I don't lock up my brakes going into the first corner. Really kind of throw a car on some of these corners. Now that it has been upgraded a bit, it handles beautifully. Just very nice, very agile without a hint of snap oversteer. Alright, full speed ahead, let's go. Let's let this little inline four-cylinder carry us to victory. Alright, through the tunnel again. Little bus stop chicane. A little bit of off course. I'm a little bit upset they counted that as off course, but that's fine. The game's yelling at us just a little bit. Hey, keep all of your tires on the tarmac. What is going on with my eyes? There we go. Like my camera is not detecting my eyes. I looked very. Oh gosh, I still look drunk. I have to adjust that in just a sec after this race. I just looked over at OBS where I can kind of see. You know, it's sort of roughly what's being streamed to you guys. My eyes. Oh gosh. I look like I'm possessed. That is one of the problems with being doing VTuber stuff. Is occasionally the software does not quite want to cooperate. And so you look very, you look a little bit derpy. Camera, my eyes are here. Nope, okay. Look, I'm driving with my eyes closed. Wow, I'm driving really good for not looking where I'm going. Okay, maybe I'm not doing as good with my eyes closed. Trying to run high stakes on your laptop, but the frame rate is horrible. And I was working just fine a few weeks ago. You may want to pull up your task manager, see if there's anything else using up a whole bunch of resources. That may be that's usually your first step if you're getting really poor frame rates for something that you know was working previously. It could also be, granted, you are also watching, you know, a live stream at the same time. That's probably using, depending on which browser you're watching on. That could also cause some if you're watching the stream on the same laptop or the same computer you're trying to run high stakes on, that may also be a bit of an issue. In which case, I do apologize. I am sorry. But yeah, I definitely recommend kind of checking your resource, your task manager, seeing what's using up a whole bunch of, you know, what's currently being used to 100% or close to it, what is being throttled, and that go from there and seeing if there's any apps that are open that are actually not watching on the laptop. You're watching on the phone. Oh, okay, cool. So it's not the stream then. So yeah, definitely check task manager. Oh, we got a beautiful RX-8 with the run assist 3-rotor naturally aspirated engine in it. We got a car that's powered by Doritos. Nice. Now a very lightweight MR-2. Alright, rankings decreased ever so slightly, that's fine. Next race, let's go. We're very close to fully leveling up our MR-2. Very nice. Ooh, Speedy Carnival. Let's not do that one. Let's see what else we have available for us. 6x2 challenge. 90s Cup. Ooh. Granted, we have most of the vehicles here, so that's not really going to be much. I think I'm gonna get off the stream. It's been fun. Good night. Good night, Duck Gamer. Hope you have a great night. Thanks for stopping by. I definitely enjoyed talking with you. And I do hope you have a great night. Hopefully you're able to get the high stakes fixed. Let's see. Let's do the turbocharged and supercharged race. At the same amount of vehicles, we can still win here. Two very nice Japanese cars that we can potentially win. As we can keep hopefully we can keep our vehicle out facing the right direction. It is handling much better now with the tire upgrades and everything. Two, one, let's roll. Oh, it's gonna be tight through here. Alright, good. Managed to get past out without any collision. Trying to really improve my racecraft, making sure I don't have too many collisions with vehicles, barriers, or any off-course excursions. Really want to try to, kind of improve my mind going into, or improve the racecraft mentality. Very fast up the hills. This track always reminds me quite a bit of Seattle circuits, of the Gran Turismo games, with all the rapid inclines and declines and stuff, and all the places you can catch air. I gotta watch ourselves through the twisty bits. Make sure we do not get ourselves too crossed up. Let's get ready for the inside of the corner. Keep it in second gear so we don't spin the wheels too much on exits. There we go. Nice. Good turn in through the twisty bits, through the suburban section of the track. Alright, through the park. Past all the trees. Yes, very nice. Alright, here we go. Going to the back straight. Gotta watch ourselves going into the bus stop chicane. It is tricky trying to brake for it because you are going over quite a bit of bumps. Car does want to get a little bit squirrely going through there. Oh man, this is so fast. Oh, a little bit too fast. A little bit too fast through that corner. Okay. Yeah, the car itself is very fast through the tighter corners. We still don't quite have the downforce available to really kind of take high-speed corners at that type of speed. So we should really watch ourselves. Alright, let's Let's get nice and easy onto the brakes. Nice, nice. Wow, we have a major lead now. This is good. Have to see what the next RS event is, because this is definitely a vehicle that can really take on quite a bit of different vehicles that are considered much faster than it. So we'll be able to get lots of points there. So once we get it, we adjust the suspension to make it just a bit more stable. It's still got that nimbleness of a midship engine vehicle without nearly as much of the snap oversteer, so we can really kind of throw it. We can knead it into the corners. Yes. Very nice, very smooth. I gotta get ready for the back straight. Make sure we set ourselves up right. Get a good exit out of the corner. Oh, and I love that blow-off valve. Sounds so nice. Alright, through the bus stop. There we go. There we go. Alright, final lap. Full speed ahead. Alright, there we go. Yes, yes. Good. Just a little bit of clipping of that inside curb. Hit right at the apex. Doing very nicely here. Alright, final lap, halfway through. See if we can go just a little bit faster. Really yeet ourselves into the fast left-hand sweeper. Get just a little bit of we cut that corner just a little bit too much. Whoopsie daisies. We're definitely trying to overdrive a vehicle just a little bit. Let's ease off just a tad. Alright, final couple of corners for the back straight, then the bus stop, and then the final right-hander. A little bit of an steer. Watch yourselves on the dirt. The dirt will still catch us out. So we gotta watch ourselves there. Nice, that Jaguar is very far behind. I'm surprised the high-performance four-wheel drive Japanese, rally stars, the Imprezas and the Lancers weren't catching up. But I'm not too concerned about it because we have one more corner left until the finish line. And there it is. Looks quite lovely. Yes. Wow, one of the Evos is in last place. Oh, sorry, Legacy, not Impreza. Still have high-powered four-wheel drive Japanese, car made by Subaru. Now let's see if we're able to win either of these. Either of them would be a very, very nice addition to the collection. Yes, we got the Tommy Makinen edition of the Evo 6. Very nice. More points. Car's gonna level up further. Yes, I love that sound. Alright, probably one more race to level up this to full level, to max level. Rankings increased even further. Very nice. Alright, let's see. Queen Victoria Cup. Let's see what we're gonna be up against. A roof turbo or Ford GT. and a Mercedes SLR McLaren. YOLO! Let's do it. Let's try to take these on. These vehicles are gonna be very, very, very quick, very rapid. We do start in first. Oh, the acceleration. We got our weight right over the rear wheels as well. Oh gosh, that roof diving down the inside. Hey, easy. Easy there. And it is the Turbo R, which is the faster of the roofs. Very quick, very rapid. It's basically a Porsche on steroids. But we can keep pace with it through the twisties. Come on. We're keeping pace with it. It will pull away on the straights. But as long as we can keep it in our sight, we'll have a chance. We'll have a chance against it. Come on now. The battle of the agile sports cars. We got the SLR McLaren behind us as well. Ooh, they gave us quite a bit of a nudge there. Very big shunt from the rear. That was uncalled for. We need to get back up with them. And that's so quick though. Very, very rapid through this course. Alright, first lap, not great. We're about 3.5 seconds off of the roof Turbo R. Probably about a second off of that Mercedes SLR McLaren. And that Ford GT, the supercharged V8 Ford GT right behind us. Oh man, we are David fighting against 3 different Goliaths. And we are coming out not that great. We need to push just a little bit harder. Really kind of put this car through its paces, especially through the twisty bits. And there we go, managed to open up a gap on the Ford GT. Very, very nice. Ooh, a little bit of understeer there. Just a little bit of understeer. It's not good. Oh boy. Hey! A little bit upset. What are we doing here? Playing racing or ping pong? Like, come on. That is the second time I've been rear-ended on that corner by the AI. By a very aggressive AI. Like, come on, at least wait for the straight to blow by me. You don't need to bump and run me. It's gonna make things just a little bit tricky. Jeez, that roof is very far in the lead. And we'll have to hang on to a points paying position. Alright, nice and easy through this course. Oh, a little bit of a nudge there on the wall. Get through all of the twisty bits. Watch yourselves going over the bump. The bump really unsettles the vehicle. And we need to get back up with that Ford GT. It's got 4 extra cylinders and plenty more horsepower than us. Much more horsepower than us. The supercar, whereas we are only a sports car. But we can push. We have a dream. Alright, gotta go nice and easy. Ooh. Alright, that's not easy. That is very much not easy. Car got very upset under braking. Come on, we cannot lose 4th. 4th is the last points paying position. We are not coming home empty-handed. Nice and easy. Alright, through the twisty bits. So watch yourselves over the jump. Car gets very loose there. We're trying to brake just a little bit too late going into those corners. Gotta watch ourselves there. Brake just a little bit earlier. I think we have pulled away from 5th. Downside is the top 3, all of them in very high performance supercars. The first one, the leader and the roof turbo R. Very fast, very brutally powerful vehicle based off the Porsche 911 chassis. Basically a incredibly high performance Porsche 911 turbo, but even faster than that. Second place being the Mercedes SLR McLaren. Front engine, rear wheel drive, 200 mile an hour monster. And then in third, the Ford GT, named after the famous or infamous, depending on which side of history you're on, GT40s that dominated the 24 Hours of Le Mans through from basically 4 years in a row, from 1966 to 1969. Very fast vehicles, all of them. Past Big Ben. They're like, okay, how many landmarks can we cram into one single racing circuit? Let's draw a route that'll go past as many landmarks as possible. And they did. And then they turned that into a racing track, which is fine. It is still a fairly good racing track. It's very difficult though. It'd be cool to see something like IndyCar or, you know, even Formula E actually race around something like a track like this. I think that'd be really cool to see. Just how see the vehicles, especially seeing them navigate the archway section here, as it gets very narrow. I'm sure you'll see quite a bit of contact. Oh, bump. Big bump there. There's a little bit of a bump there. Come on, we need to get faster. Halfway through this lap. If we can finish in 4th, that's still plenty of points. A little bit squirrely on corner exit there. Really trying to push hard. Very late braking on that corner still. Braking way too late. I need to brake earlier. I'm used to much slower vehicles in a straight line, and it shows. Oh, there we go. Still not bad considering we were slotted as being the slowest vehicle, and we finished 4th. We managed to beat two other opponents. Very nice. We may have a chance to win one of the supercars in the game. Ooh, okay. I will take it. It's got four-wheel drive. It's turbocharged. 3.6 liter boxer 6 engine. Very nice. And that was just enough points to level us up fully. My vehicle now level 10. Very nice. Alright, let's switch our vehicle now to a racing or a competition segment vehicle. This is the full-on race cars. We have five different options here. So let us pull up the random number generator. Alright. So one will be the CLK DTM. 5 will be the Exxon Superflow Supra. Anything in between will be anything in between. So let's see what it is. 4. Alright, so that is the Peugeot 206 rally car. Very nice. So we'll be doing more off-road racing with this. Very nice. Let's make sure we adjust the settings on it, get it ready for competition. Nice, and stiffen up the rear just a bit. Really kind of want it just a little bit squirrely. More lower gear ratio. Way dial back the differentials. There we go. Alright, now we get to join a race. Rally car series. Let's do Mirage Crossing. Ourselves versus the Ford Focus rally car. Ford Focus rally car has just a little bit of an edge, but it's a chance we can use to get some more rally cars added to our collection. Hot hatch versus hot hatch in a hot desert. And it did get a bit more acceleration than us. That's okay. We really need to push and push hard in order to get up into the lead. Car wants to understeer just a little bit on some of these corners. I'm gonna need to unlock the front diff just a bit more to kind of get the slides, the more squirrely four-wheel drive nature of the vehicle that I really want. A bump there, bump and run. we go. Nice, nice, nice. We're up into the lead. Let's make sure we can hold it over the jump. Alright, very sharp uphill right-hander as we make our way onto the dunes. Another little bump there. This is much faster than us in a straight line. Oh, but he is slowing down for the jump. That's good. Gotta give us just a little bit leeway going for the final couple of corners. A very long 90-degree right-hander. Another very long, slightly tighter 180-degree, or close to 180-degree left-hander. And a very, very long 180-degree right-hander. We gotta make sure we get a good exit out of this corner. This is the final straight. Big push. It is right behind us. Up the hill, carry as much speed as we can. And across the line. Yes. Bump. And then reverse. What's real fun is when you finish and you try to reverse and the other AI crashes right back into the rear view. Okay. Not the greatest start for collecting vehicles. But we at least got it leveled up to level 1. Yes, very nice. Decent amount of points as well. We'll be very, very consistent in our points paying victories. Alright, garage, let's go to settings. We want to unlock that front limited slip just a bit more. There we go. That should definitely help. Ooh, Dragon Range. Even matchup between us and the Subaru Impreza rally car. Hill climb event, super special stage at night. Going toge racing in the rally cars. Yes. Little pop from the exhaust as well. Yeah, you got a little bit more of acceleration on me. I'm gonna let you have that first corner, but you're gonna go wide. Oh, it's understeering quite a bit, that Impreza. It's got that launch out of the corners, but it is having major issues going into the corners. So if we can make it up through some of the tighter bits, we may have a shot. It's gonna be close though. We're already at a pretty big disadvantage going through here. Oh, turn. There we go, much better. All right, that's gonna cost us quite a bit. It's not going well for us. But we keep fighting. We have a second shorter sector now as it goes again back really, really tight. We did gain a little bit of time through that higher speed sector. but it's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna be enough. Have I played any of the F1 games? Actually, I have. Kind of. I have not played any of the Codemasters F1 games, but I have played some of the PS2, where it was, I forget who made it, but like the PS2 exclusive F1 games. I have played some of those, but I have not played any. I have not played any of the Codemasters F1 games. I do want to try them out because they seem really, really cool. That is definitely on the list. Major break lock up there. Especially because I do like F1 quite a bit. F1 is open wheel racing in general is some of my favorite type of motorsport. Open wheel and GT / like endurance racing. Played some of the Codemaster, very well done. Any years that you would recommend? I know some of them are really. I know some of them are like the. I know you should avoid 14. I know 14 is like the one that's like everyone doesn't like to cut a whole bunch of features and stuff like that. And I've heard there's some issues with 2022 as well. But I'm not sure like which ones I should go for. Is that's the other thing. I heard really good things about 13. I'm like, okay, I'll get the next one. And I kind of waited just a little bit, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, 14 is really bad and everything. So I kind of like held off a little bit. So I don't know. I might see if I can't find a way to get 13. 2012 was what you played the most. Yeah, I've heard 2012 and 2013 are really good, especially because I think one of them had like online co-op multiplayer where you could be teammates while racing teammates and stuff like that, which is really cool. I would love to attempt that. I think that would be a lot of fun. Okay, we need to have vengeance. That Subaru defeated us quite handily the last race. Now we're on tarmac. Sorry, now we are on dirt. We were on tarmac, now we're on dirt. We need to really make sure we can beat this Subi. We adjusted our gear ratios. Really get more acceleration. Use the e-brake a bit to help around that tight corner. Oh, the Subaru. It's very nimble. And it's got that acceleration that we do not have. Like on the wider corners, we were able to beat it. And once we're able to kind of get up to speed, we're able to kind of catch it up. But a lot of these off-road tracks are very tight, very technical, very tricky. Oh dear. We need to make a move on this, and fast. Granted, we still have plenty of time to do so, but we need to kind of get in front and control the race. And it's tricky. It is tricky to gain on the Subaru through the tight technical bits. We're keeping pace with it. We're not losing time like last time. But oh, it is still just a little bit faster than us. Just a little bit, just enough to be difficult. Alright, dive bomb on the inside here. Use a Colin McRae quote, when in doubt, flat out. Colin McRae, also famous for driving Subaru Imprezas, as well as the Ford Focuses. And that Subaru is nudging us wide. So we dive back down the inside. Very close, very dirty battle for the lead. Neither of us wants to give. Come on, give me just a little bit more turning on those tight hairpins. That is where I'm losing a lot of time. Because I just can't get the car spun round enough on those tight hairpins. I need to adjust some more suspension settings. Really get it towards the tight, twisty bits. I'd probably adjust the toe a bit more, as well as open up the front and rear diffs. I didn't want to open it up too much, because that'll cost me some acceleration on the slippery surfaces. But on the other hand, I want that maneuverability, I want that agility. Oh, we're neck and neck. There we go. Back up into the lead. There we go. We need to use quite a bit of handbrake to really get around some of these corners. Diving back down to the inside. There we go. The high-speed corners are where we're really able to kind of make our moves. A little bit of a nudge there. This is going to be tricky. Very, very tricky. Not quite. Come on. The constant back and forth, though, this is very, very, very exciting. Oh, we had a slow spot there. Come on, get it turned in. Oh, we really need to push. Alright, we need to get back up ahead. We got 3 to go. 3 minutes, basically, more or less, to do this. Can't come in second again. The downside with the rally cars is with these dual events, you need to win to get the points. And oh boy, come on. That's what makes things difficult. That Subaru is also getting faster and faster each lap. Diving down on the inside. There we go. Alright, let's keep that in mind as we go into the final couple of laps so we can really kind of make a move on that final corner complex. That seems to be that best spot to overtake, but hopefully we don't need to overtake anymore. Maybe if you could stay out of my right rear quarter panel. AI is being just a little bit orgy and burgy right now. Really? We're not gonna have enough points to really upgrade our vehicle because we keep getting nudged by the AI. Back up into the lead. Final lap. Okay. Come on. Keep it smooth. No stupid mistakes, Isaac. We need to win this. Ranking points matter more than upgrade points at this stage. Although both are very, very important. Right now we really want to kind of adjust. Save ourselves through this race. Get enough points. And then really kind of work on the vehicle a bit. Get the suspension, get the alignment adjusted some more. More oversteer, more turn in. Maybe stiffen up the rears a bit. Here we go. Final couple of corners. We have advantage on these corners. It's a higher speed. There we go. 7, 8, and across the line. Yes. Whew. Yay. Very nice. Alright. Let's see. Are we able to win the Impreza? Are we able to win the rally car? Yes, we are. Good. Add more to our competition segment collection because that is seriously lacking. There's very, very few spots that we are able to add to it. Yep, no points there. 600 points here. That's decent. Our ranking is improved somewhat. At least it's not dropping. Alright, let's adjust some settings here. Let's add a bit of rake. Step up the rears just a bit. Really open up the fronts. There we go. That should do very nicely. Edge of the road. That's against the Subaru. We've already won the Subaru. Let's see if we can unlock something else. That is also against the Subaru. That is also against the Subaru. What is this up against? Oh, that's against the Evo 7. Wintertrom. Wintertrom's a tricky track as well. Let's do Edge of the Road. We haven't raced there in a while. Wintertrom is very tricky. Snow is very tricky to drive in. Come on, let's get back up into the lead. Oh, yes. Okay. This feels like a proper rally car now. Much more turn in. Much more turn in on the braking. This should do us very nicely. Let's get back up with the leader. Come on, we need to go just a little bit faster. Alright, so big slides like that are not advantageous. That slowed us down some. And this 206 is not doing us well. Nice and easy. Come on. We really need to gain time now. We are very far behind. Alright, through the high-speed sections. Get right up on the walls. Okay, that's a little bit too much on the walls. A little bounce off the low cheatsy maneuver there. We're definitely overdriving a car. Okay, watch ourselves. Come on. Need to gain. No, come on. Car just does not want to get around the tight corners. It's making things very tricky. We need to catch up. We need to catch up now. I think we are catching up. If just a little bit. Oh my gosh, it is not pretty. It is not a pretty sight. Alright, 3.2 seconds. We're up with the Umbras now. 2.6 seconds. Just does not. It wants to spin under braking, but it doesn't want to turn in under like no throttle. I think we messed up with the suspension settings. I think we need more toe adjustments, less rake. This is very unstable in the braking, and then it's snap understeers on when you try to get out of the corners. I made some mistakes here. This is definitely not gonna go well for us. Okay. Yeah, this is affecting our ranking quite a bit. Okay. Alright, do that. There. Do this. There. I want more low speed maneuverability. And it's just the car locks up. Really does not like doing that low speed maneuverability. Alright, we're against the Evo. Let's see if we're able to win this. I hope so. We've had a long string of very bad races. We need some good, clean races. Evo pulls away on the straights, that's fine. We just need cornering. There we go, it is cornering a little bit better. The car itself still isn't quite how I like it. Nice and easy through here. I definitely know the 206 would be much faster than this. Most of the rally cars are fairly balanced against each other. But it just seems like this is understeering like a pig. On pretty much any corner that I'm not braking for. We need to get back up ahead of the Evo. Come on, get it turned in, please. Can't afford to keep doing that. Nope, that's gonna cost us a win. Ah, no. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Alright, that should at least help with handling a little bit. Enough pity points to get the thing semi-competitive. Yeah, that's gonna... We gotta watch ourselves with these ranking points, though. Settings, I don't... Maybe just a tad bit towards oversteer? There. Alright. Let's see what this is. Mr. Cave Way. Let's get the focus. Okay. We have a decent shot against the focus. We've won against the focus before. We got this. Car's just a little bit faster now. If we can get some steady victories, we should be able to fully upgrade this. They are pulling away quite a bit on the straights. Dive bomb on the inside, that's fine. Yeah, this definitely feels... Oh, this feels much better. Okay, the tire upgrade helped out. Get enough pity points to upgrade the vehicle. Is it perfect? No, because it still understeers quite a bit. But it's more manageable now. Come on, let's get this leveled up. It is able to outmaneuver us on the tight bits though. And we got a very tight corner and a fairly open corner. Granted, it's off camber, the vehicle is very prone to understeer there. Alright, we gotta stop doing that. We need to have some clean laps in order to really kind of get some points to upgrade this thing. Some clean races, but we needed some race victories as well. Use just a little bit more handbrake like we did previously with this track. The car had turned in a bit on some of these hairpins. There you go, much better. Much faster through this section. There you go, across the line. Keep this pace up. We gotta keep this pace up now. We're pulling away. We're trying to get some good laps in. This is what's going to win races. This is what's going to win upgrades. And the rally cars are fairly quick to upgrade as well, which is nice. Very, very nice. Another lap down. Good. Keep the pace up. Pulling away from the focus. We gotta watch ourselves in that inside corner there. We keep clipping the wall. There we go. Things are starting to click. This vehicle. Yes. Very nice. Come on. Start bringing home some race victories. So bringing home some cleaner races as well, upgrade the car even faster. We've got this. Halfway through this race. Let's make sure we get enough points to really kind of upgrade this vehicle. Enough clean laps. We got this. There we go. Ooh, sketchy. Very sketchy. There we go. Nice and smooth again. That's fine. Alright, 2.5 more laps. But we should be able to get some more upgrades for this vehicle. Nice and easy through here. There we go. We're really pulling away now. Vehicle is much better handling. Very smooth. Nice and easy. Starting to come together. Okay, as we get ready to go to the final lap. Watch yourselves going on the final corner here. One more lap. Here we go. 8. Not quite the fastest lap, but we're still right on target. Come on. Go. Final couple of corners. We've got this. The left, full speed ahead. 8. Nice. Very, very consistent those last 2 laps. Very nice. Yes. Alright, let's see how much we're able to upgrade our vehicle. Hopefully by a decent amount. Let's see. Alright, we got the Ford Focus as well. Nice, another rally car added to the collection. Very, very nice. Let's see. Ah, it's not enough to upgrade. So I had so many collisions with the wall. Yeah, ranking numbers need to decrease a little bit. Alright, let's go for some quick events. Let's get this upgraded just a little bit more. Oh, the Citroen Xterra. French car versus French car. Got this. We've got this. Come on, let's do a good run. So we really want to get our vehicle nice and upgraded so it can be competitive. Yeah, that tire upgrade really kind of allowed the vehicle to be competitive. Really kind of pull ahead of the competition now. Able to take victories more consistently. Very nice, very, very nice. So a couple more races and call it quits for the night, because it is getting very late and I do have work in the morning. But I do want to get this at least up to level 5 before anything else, so we can at least say we got 1.5 cars upgraded on this stream. And a third to get the car nice and turned in. There we go. Nice, nice, nice. And across the line. Boom. I love bumping the wall at the end there. Very fun. Let's see if we're able to win the Citroen. Nah, we were not able to win the Citroen. That's unfortunate. But we did finally level up our car. Let's see. Let's see. Yes, that is up to level 5. Let's do one more race and call it quits for the night. Yeah, ranking's gonna increase just a little bit. That is fine. Winter Trom, what are we up against? That Mitsubishi. Alright, Dragon Range, what up against? That Mitsubishi! Okay, hope the game wants us to go up against a Mitsubishi. So let's do Toge battle. Peugeot versus Lancer. Dueling up the side of the mountain. Alright, we're able to keep pace much better, but that Evo is probably the fastest of the group. But we can take these tighter corners. We can take these tighter corners so much better. Barely lose time on the Evo. And that's good, because if we can stay close and if we can stay close behind the wider sweeper corners, we might be able to pass. These corners are still very tight, very technical. Very tricky. And the E-brake is not letting us turn. Okay. Yeah, we're getting quite a bit of understeer on the hill climb because all the weight is shifting back to the rears. Come on, we need to win this. We need to win this now. Oh, 1 second. 1 second behind. There we go. A little too fast into that corner. It's gonna be tight. We still got a fighting chance though. Onto the inside. A lot of collisions with each other. Okay, that was definitely a dive bomb. If gap car. Channeling my inner Senna there. Alright, there we go. It's a dirty win, but it's a win nonetheless. Only a few corners left. We need the points. Oh, we ran wide. Come on. A bit steady. Yes, there we go. Cross the line. Starting to have some better results. Very, very dirty. Very unclean race though. If we're able to win the Evo, that'd be very nice. Okay, we didn't win the Evo. Didn't level up either, that is okay. Alright, ranking is still decreased just a little bit. That is... It's not great, but that's not bad. Alright. With that being said though, it is getting very late. It is 11:30 here. So with that being said, I am probably going to be ending the stream here. Thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the stream, do be sure to leave a like. Let me know what I'm doing properly in the comments below, and of course subscribe. If you didn't like the stream, I do apologize. If you didn't like the stream, do be sure to leave a dislike. Let me know in the comments below what I am doing wrong, so I can do better in the future. Regardless though, thank you all again so much for watching. I've been Isaac Umbras, and wherever you are in the world, whatever time of day it may be for you, may it be a great time. And I will see you on the next stream on Saturday. Yeah. More Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. Woo! Until then though, take care. See ya!